You're watching the SCAC Women's Basketball Media Days. It's day 3, and we're taking a look at the University of Dallas women's basketball program. The Crusaders coming off a 9-16 season, 3-11 in SCAC play a year ago. The Crusaders will be led into the season by head coach Lacey Burns, along with sophomore forward Vanessa Diaz. And Coach and Vanessa, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Coach, I'll open up with you. Going into year 2, what did you learn through the course of last season, and what has this camp been like early on throughout the first couple of weeks? So, what are you excited about as camp has opened up?
Well, I learned that we need to value the ball this year a little bit better, or a lot better, really. So we've been working on that at practice. I'm excited about our newcomers. We have 6 freshmen and transfers. We returned 2. Currently, that's Vanessa and Panda, and then Juliet, she's in our Rome program, so she'll be back at break. So I'm really looking forward to our first game on Friday and this year, and lots of positive growth in the last 2 weeks of practice.
Vanessa, for you in your sophomore season, going into your second camp under Coach Burns, and they're at Dallas, even though you're just in your second year with such a young team and a whole crew of new faces, I would imagine your responsibility role has definitely increased this year. How have you seen that role change with such a young team, and what are you excited about in your second season there at Dallas?
Yeah, it's definitely been something new that I've had to adjust to. Last year, I was talking to Coach about it a while ago, that I kind of just followed the crowd and mixed in with everyone else. And this year I'm having to be more vocal and just make sure we're getting all on the right page. But something that I'm really excited for, and I think even as far as leadership goes, we can all learn from each other. So I think it's just really exciting to have a lot of new faces, a lot of new things to learn.
Coach, with a young group, you hear what Vanessa had to say about her role and the leadership shouldering that she has taken on. What are some of the challenges that you face with the group of young new players and new faces into your program, and what have you seen from that group that has you energized with this new set of athletes in your program?
Yeah, that's a great word. Super energized with this group. They are competitive. They have a thirst and a quench to want to learn, and that's really refreshing. So it's definitely a learning curve with 6 new people. Lots to put in a short amount of time, but we're getting it done. We're being efficient, and we're having fun while we're doing it. So it's been great to get to know everybody and just see how everyone ticks, what makes them competitive, and understand their why. And I'm really excited for what the season is going to bring.
Vanessa, you made an immediate impact last year as a freshman on the floor. You averaged nearly 19 minutes a game, 5.9 points and 4.2 rebounds per contest. What have you worked on individually throughout the course of the offseason heading into camp to improve and continue to get better out there on the floor for the Crusaders?
Yes, individually I've worked on rebounds. I think for sure those numbers would be able to go up this season, so I'm really excited to see those numbers this year and see the difference between my sophomore and freshman year.
Again, you're watching the SCAC Women's Basketball Media Days. It's day 3, and we're taking a look at the University of Dallas women's basketball program. We're joined by head coach Lacey Burns, along with sophomore forward Vanessa Diaz. And Vanessa, for you, this team limited opponents to 63.3 points per game a season ago. That was second best in the SCAC. Opponents shot just 36.4% from the field. How do you continue that trend again this season on the defensive side of the ball, and how important will that be for this team's success heading into the year?
Yes, defense is very important to us. We do a lot of defensive drills in practice. So I think if anything, we can keep it the same level, if not even bump it up, go to first in the league for defense. So I think defensively that'll be our game this year.
Coach, as you look at this group on the offensive side of the ball, this is a team that averaged 58.6 points per game and shot just over 34% from the field. Where have you looked to kind of grow in those areas in camp, and how do you try and expand sort of what you can do offensively on that side of the ball heading into the season?
Our offensive efficiency will go up in terms of our field goal percentage, our 3-point percentage, and free throw percentage. So we're really trying to increase those numbers. We have goals that we've talked about with the team, and individual goals as well as collectively. So we'll hopefully see a rise in those percentages, which will equate to more W's.
Vanessa, finally wrapping things up with you is, you've had some discussions with your teammates as one of the leaders on this team. What are some of the goals for this Crusaders women's basketball program heading in the year? And what will be key for this team to try and accomplish those goals this season?
Goals this year is just staying focused, on the court. Every practice we get together before we actually start, and we just have fun. So, of course, having fun is a goal, but ultimately we want to step it up, make it to the SCAC tournament this year, and go from there.
And finally, Coach, to close things out with you, as you look at this group and for the fans and people that will come out and support this University of Dallas women's basketball program throughout the course of the season, what do you hope really become characteristics of this team, things that become a part of this team's DNA that regardless of the result, win or loss, the people who are supporting this team, we can really count on night in and night out with this program?
You can count on energy. We're going to have fun, and we're going to compete. We are going to be the hardest working team on the floor.
The University of Dallas women's basketball program, again, the Crusaders, led by head coach Lacey Burns and sophomore forward Vanessa Diaz, will open up the 2018-19 season November 9th when they take on St. Thomas. Coach, Vanessa, thanks so much for your time and best of luck as you head into the season.
Thank you.